everyone, and welcome to the January reading wrap up. Let's see if I can do this in one take. I'm gonna set a timer. I didn't have that many books to get through, but I can talk, okay? So the first thing I want to go over, and hopefully I'm putting it on the screen, physical, ebooks, audiobooks, that sort of thing, those kind of stats, so that we have an idea of what the template for my wrap-ups will be moving forward. For month number 1, I read a total of 3 physical books, no audiobooks, and 2 ebooks. I feel like that's pretty good for the first month of the year, as chaotic as it was. I think the accomplishment that I'm the most proud of for January is the fact that I completed a series, finally. It has been, at this point, 2 years in my reading journey, and I have started so many series from different authors, different genres, and I haven't finished one until now. Duologies, okay, but those that have more than 3 books, I don't think I have finished one yet. So, well, I take that back. I finished the Erotic Love Language series by Brandon A. So technically that was 6, but those were small. Those were novellas. And I also finished the Kingstown series from Sean, which was, again, another 5-6 book series, and those were novellas as well. So I feel like that equals 1 book. So books that aren't novellas in a series. And the first book would be Ethic. Very thick, very thick. This is the biggest book in the series. I would suggest reading Moth to a Flame by Ashley Antoinette first, then going into Ethic Book 1, it's the purple book, and then seeing your way through the entire series. If you want to know in detail, I guess, what my thoughts and feelings were, I did a reading vlog on this one last month, so you should be able to get some insight on what I really felt. Ethic is urban fiction. Okay. And I know that that is very challenging for some people, and for others, right up their alley. For me, I think that I find urban fiction entertaining. I find the jokes, I get them because there might be a niche there. I did enjoy the Ethic series, and I got to know the characters and understand, or try to understand, the nonsense that they were going through. I had to pause. My mom called. Anyway, so I tried my best throughout the series to understand where some of the characters were coming from. Some of them were more insufferable than others. Some, I wish, didn't even get a page to themselves. You know what I mean? But over the course of the 6 books plus Moth to a Flame, I started to grow attached to some of them. I know that the Butterfly series is going to take me through it, but I'm glad that I at least completed Ethic. My wine of choice, because of course this is Sill's Books and Wine. We talk about the books, we get a wine pairing, and the wine of choice is Velvet Reserve by Chateau Elan. Now, that is one of my favorite wines, and I know that I limit my wine options to a select few because I have my reasons. I feel like Chateau Elan's Velvet Reserve is the wine of choice for the closing of the Ethic series because it kind of is completion. It's completion. It's closure. It is acceptance of what was. It is a nice ending to all of the highs and lows that we experienced throughout the series. I mean, there was that time where they had that milestone event, and they had it in a place where people just don't actually go there for that. But okay, fine, your life, we're just reading about it. And I feel like that wine of choice, it really just says, that was good. That was good. We got to find out where everyone was from book 1 all the way through to book 6. We found out maybe things that we didn't really want to know, but we're here now and we're ready for Butterfly. 4 out of 5. I have Say Less by Talena Tillman. This is one of the ebooks, so hopefully I am putting it on the screen. I better be putting it on the screen. And this particular ebook, it is a friends to lovers, okay? I am probably one of few that loves a good friends to lovers. I think that it speaks to the dynamics of growth through the relationship and how two people can start off in such a very trivial and childish way and mature together, grow together, or they can separate and find their way back to each other now that they're in different phases of life. So friends to lovers is something that I enjoy at times. Now for this one, Cap and Mo. In my written book review that I have in my planner, I believe that I said two things can be true at once. Why did I say that? Simply because they're both right and they're both wrong. Hear me out. Hear me out. At that particular time when Mo, the female main character, was ready to start her life with Cap, Cap was like, girl, I'm making so much money right now. I am in the streets and these people know me for real. They respect me. Like, I'm not ready to do all that settling down, but you know, you got my heart. You know, I love you. You know that it's me and you. Well, why don't you keep it in your pants if that's the case? You know what I mean? And he was like, I love you, but you're right. I can't do that right now. So she decided to make plans for the life that she wanted. She wanted to break that generational curse that her family and his family had. She wanted a different life for her future. She didn't want to be in that street life and going to funerals all the time and all of that. So she set out on a new path. And in the midst of that, she realized that the grass was not greener on the other side. In fact, grass wasn't even growing over there. It was scary over there, okay? And Cap came to her rescue because even though they were not really on the best of terms, he made it a point to tell her, like, I'm always going to be here for you, but I can't be here for you right now. You know what I mean? There was really a moment that was really symbolic when they had this deep conversation a few years before they met up again. And it was like, whoa, for you to be having this conversation where you're having it, how symbolic, because it's almost as if you are mourning the loss of a person because of where they were, and you're also mourning the loss of the friendship that you could no longer have with him. And it was really deep, really deep. I enjoyed that. I really did. It is an urban fiction as well. It is definitely a genre that I have enjoyed. And I'm going to keep saying that. But I would give this wine pairing, Veuve Clicquot, demi-sec. And I'm giving it the demi-sec because you would think it would be dry. It would be expensive, yes. But then when you realize it's the demi-sec, you're like, ooh, that's refreshing. That's somewhat sweet. That is delightful. That is surprising. That is good. That is good. And I think for the journey that they experience in this book, I think that is a nice pairing. He definitely comes to her rescue, try and sort through what they have going on in hopes for a happier ending. I gave that a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Why it didn't get 5 stars? Because I feel like there was a little more that we could have unpacked there, but also it's a novella, so there wasn't much we could do in that short amount of time. So I gave it 3.5. Next, Tillman. I told the author, Tillman, I told her on TikTok, I said, Tillman, what else you got on that laptop? Okay? I need that. I need that. This is an urban erotica. What else is on that laptop? This particular novella, I ordered 5 books from her when I got this one. So I have more that we're going to get through, but this one, wow. Wow. Did I tell you urban erotica? Okay, good. Now this one is not friends to lovers. It's more strangers to lovers, but we have some comedy in there. The jokes are there, okay? And I love the brotherly dynamic between Rakim and Hakim. They're brothers, of course. The female main character is Willow. She is kind of uptight, a girl that is all about her career. She doesn't really have a lot of downtime. She finally gets some downtime, and it's like she wants to meet up with this guy. She ends up meeting Rakim, and it is entertaining after that, I will say. Now, jokes are there. I would call this urban erotica only because of the life that Rock is his nickname, the life that Rock lives. So it would fall into that urban space. Good girl, bad boy, reformed bad boy kind of pairing. I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The wine pairing that I have for this is Bartenura, Moscato d'Asti. I'm pairing it with Bartenura because it's fun, it's sweet, it's crisp, it's nice, it's like, it's gonna hit you when you least expect it. And I feel like that's what this is. It's small, but it packs a punch. It is entertaining. And I feel like that's what Bartenura would give you. For that, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only reason why I didn't get 5 stars, because the way that the male main character is described to us, I would think that he looks like something else. I have pictured him in a different way in my mind. And when the author described him, I said, oh, I did not think he would. I wasn't putting the two together. So that is my reason for rating it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Petty, I know, but my rating nonetheless. This is a good novella. This is a good airport read. Maybe. This is a good vacation read. This is a good palate cleanser. If you've been in maybe like a fluffy romance space, you need something with a little bit more pick-me-up before you get into the next thing. This is a good read. If you're trying to get into a new author, this is a good read. If you want something that is getting you into something a bit spicier than what you're used to, drown in it. Next, we have Mutual Obsession by Charisse Carr. And this is also another ebook that I read, urban fiction again. This one is also friends to lovers. There is obsession there, but not between the main characters. So there is a nuisance, a pest of sorts that is just inserting themselves. But this is not a part of a series. The novella that we just talked about was not a part of a series either. I just wanted to make sure I let you know that. This particular novella, I had higher hopes for it, to be honest with you. The male main character reminded me of Smoke from Demon's Dream just for a split second, because he had this thing with knives and machetes. And I thought, I might like this guy. 6'2", athletic build, great guy, great guy, great looking guy. But then we started getting into the story and I was like, okay, we're friends. What's holding us back here? And it's the typical, I don't want to ruin the friendship. That's what the female main character is saying. I don't want to ruin the friendship. Girl, okay, fine. But she was in a relationship. So also not crossing that boundary either. Relationship's going on. He's doing his street running thing, visits his grandparents every week. Wonderful boy. Wonderful boy. And then when the door opens for them to get closer, this is where you lose me, because maybe I've just read too many friends to lovers at this point, but I feel like you've been smooth. As a male main character, you've been smooth this entire time. And then when you get the chance to get your foot in the door, you say, if you want to come join me, or some nonsense like that. Like, what a lame way to go. And then she's so easy. It didn't even take any time. She just was like, okay. Girl, what? You spent all these years saying, no. And it took him taking his shirt off. Easy. So I felt like that was just not it. There was mental health representation in the book. I feel like that was, as a friend, I would be giving you a little bit of a side eye. It is your business and only your business to tell if you want to tell it. But if you already told somebody else this secret about you, and I'm supposed to be your closest friend. Why don't I know? Why is it that person can know and I can't know? And then when I do find out, it's like so late in the game, and like now I'm just playing catch up. Like, why couldn't I know when everybody else knew? What? So I thought that was odd. My favorite scene had to be when they went to go pick up the dog, three friends, and the guys go over to the house. They get caught off guard. They jumping on the kitchen island. They getting bit up. It's running around the house. It was chaos, and it was my favorite scene in the entire book. And for that, I would say that this particular book would remind me of a Prosecco. I'm not a Prosecco girl, okay? And I feel like if you dabble in it, you're like, okay, it gets the job done. It's an acquired taste. And I feel like that's why it's a good pairing, because it's not my favorite, but it'll do. You know what I mean? So I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Nothing to write home about on this one. Friends to lovers. There you have it. And lastly, book number 5. Are my tabs showing? Look at my tabs. Some of them need updating. But we have Figure of Speech by Kasha Thompson. I have said this before and I'll say it again. Kasha Thompson is my rom-com queen. Okay. And not a series, but I talked about this in a work-related video. We have 2 dominant characters, press secretary and maybe the president. Did they know each other before, or did they just meet when someone got the job? Okay, so we're getting to know the characters, and she's 5'8", curvy, Jamaican. Is she me? Anyway, we also learned that he's about 6'4", New York native, Harvard Law grad, dominant, sensual, thoughtful, but also disrespectful. Hear me out. He wasn't disrespectful until we got closer to the end, but the fact that I am still up in arms about it, I am still upset with him about that, because we were doing so well until we weren't. Now, I feel where Clover, female main character, I feel where she's coming from. Like, if I am at work, workplace romance, if I'm at work and I know that my job is at risk if I canoodle with someone, I am the woman here. So that's already against me. And then I'm Black. That's 2 for 2. And the fact that you are in the position that you're in, sir, and you're not taking what I'm saying serious enough because you think it's not going to be that deep, it's not that bad. I'm telling you that it is, and you keep telling me it's not. That alone should have stopped her from doing whatever she was going to do. But it didn't. Now did it? Did they have a good time? They had a great time. They had a great time. I did enjoy what the press secretary day-to-day life looks like. I really didn't have a thought about how do they prepare for these press conferences and the Q&A and the back and forth. I just had no idea. I never thought about it. But this really opened my eyes to how they really get work done. I think I'm going Bella Bollet, Italian Sweet Red, as the wine pairing because it's nice. It's really good. I mean, Teddy, the male main character, like, you're nice, you're cool, but you could be better. And I wish you never said that one thing. But anyway, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. With that, I had an average of about 3.7 out of 5 stars for the month of January. And I feel like that's pretty decent, given that I read 5 books. And I think it was a good start to the reading year. I will say that. Here are my February reading plans. We'll see what I end up getting into. I definitely want to read more love-related ebooks, maybe 3 or 4 of them, because obviously the month is shorter. I'm not a speed reader, so we'll aim for 3. And then I do want to read the books that I didn't get to in the month of January. So that would be Front Street Porter by Nina and Red by Aubrey Penn. Red is book 2 in the Getting Hill series of 14 books, so I'll be there a while. And Front Street Porter is book 1 in the world of the Porter Boys. The Anna series is about a 3-book series, and Front Street Porter is the book that introduces you to everyone. So that's the one that I'm gonna kick off for the month of February, and then we'll go from there. So what I can tell you And I also want to read Losing Control by Lady Nisha. Lady Nisha is one of my favorites. Before Losing Control, I want to say I've read 2 books by her. Had a great time kicking my feet up, laughing, connected with the characters, got sad with the characters, was shocked and surprised with the characters. So I can't wait to see what she takes me through with Losing Control. I'll have my tabs ready. And I think that for the month of February, I can definitely tell you we're not off to a good start. And it wasn't Front Street Porter. That was not the one that did it to me. But there was a 2.5 in there, and I'm just going to leave it at that. There was a 2.5. I can't get over it myself, okay? So yes, those were the books that I jumped into for the month of January. I hope that the month of February will brighten up in the second half. And let me know what you're reading. Let me know what your favorite genre is. Do you have a favorite author? And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.